Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. You straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. That is right. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, right here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am your favorite host. That's right. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
That could be true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great American, and he is a great patriot. You all know him as... America. The silence is deafening.
It is your boy, Chris America, coming to you live this Wednesday, August the 28th? Yes, August the 28th, 2019. And yes, I forgot to click the mic button, but I'm here.
Well, it's better late than never.
Better late than pregnant.
That was an awkward 5 seconds of silence.
That wasn't that long, was it?
I don't know, 5 seconds isn't that long. Could have been 4 seconds. Felt like a long time.
5 seconds does feel like a long time.
That's what she said.
What's up, Loudbeard?
Good morning,
How you
sir.
doing?
I'm good.
Welcome
I'm
to
doing
Wacky
great.
Wednesday with Scooter and the G's. We're starting off on the right foot for Wacky Wednesday.
Yeah, we are. We are. Hey, there's this story that I've had written down for the last 2 days. And I just wanted to bring. I'm going to start it off. It has nothing to do with
anything. Is this the one
current.
you teased at the end of yesterday's episode?
No, what did I tease at the end of yesterday? I forget. I
know you said there was one more story you wanted to get to, but you couldn't get to it.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is it. We'll go with that. So this caught my eye, and maybe I'm looking too much into this, but Lindsey Vonn engages with PK Subban. So she is fallen in love, and they are going to get married, and PK Subban is the great hockey player, played for the Predators, just got traded this past season. And Lindsey Vonn, she's the Olympic champion skier. So great to see that this couple's getting married. But I thought about this. I said, that's weird. She's got a pretty specific type when she's looking at men. She's thinking, okay, I need to find a black male athlete that plays in a predominantly white male world but has broken through barriers to get where he's at, to be great at his sport. So, of course, she dated Tiger Woods first and then realized he was kind of, a little bat shit on some things in his life. So she was like,
old.
You know what?
Don't forget old.
Yep, go. Yeah, he is old. He's very old.
He's got back
She's
issues,
like, you know
too,
what?
which back issues make you not so good. You're not a good lover if you have back issues.
Right. And she was thinking, I saw the news stories. He's had a lot of practice with sex because he's got an addiction, so this will be great. But then he comes in, he's like, you know what? I'm already wore out. My back's already been wore out.
My back is hurting.
I don't got anything left for you.
Yep.
And so she's like, well, what other male athlete who has gone into a predominantly white male sport and broken through barriers can I date? And bam, she found PK. I think that's pretty nice of her. I find that when people do start dating, they typically have a type, and she definitely has a type.
Yeah, that was a good breakdown of that whole ordeal, Loudbeard. I didn't know you were so, in tuned with Lindsey Vonn's dating life.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of sporting breakdowns we get here on Scout Team Radio.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking during this whole thing, I mean, if Jackie Robinson was still alive, she would be all over that. Age doesn't matter. She has a type. That's her thing.
She definitely does. Yeah, Loudbeard.
Is that where you thought I'd be starting the show off?
These are analytics that our fans need, that our fans want. And if they don't even know that they want or need them, they do now.
Well, that's what we do. We're the scout team. We don't go after the big name ESPN stories because you've already heard that. You already know those. We can talk
You mean
about
you don't
Andrew
want to
Luck
debate
again.
how Andrew Luck being a millennial caused him to retire for the next 3 days?
Yeah, we could do that. But we're not. We're debating on Lindsey Vonn and her specific type when she comes to dating men.
I don't even think there's a debate. I think you broke it down, and it's irrefutable.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Scout team, irrefutable.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
like
word,
that
right?
word.
Irrefutable.
It's a pretty good word.
It doesn't sound like a word, though. But I think it is.
Yep. Now,
irregardless isn't a word, right?
No, irregardless is not a word, but it may be added to the dictionary because of its overuse by incompetence.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's how a lot of words come about, though. You know that?
Yeah. Like supposedly.
Supposedly? Yeah, they should make that a word.
Yeah. I agree. Or like ask you a question. Like,
what were some of the words that Kiwi would mispronounce when she was a little girl? Was there anything specific or Pacific?
Man. Yeah.
Or was that too long
yeah.
ago for you to remember?
It's probably too long ago for me to remember. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but yeah, Pacifically, nothing comes to mind.
Well, I know that Little America, he didn't really like mispronounce things or nothing that I can remember, but he always called Target the airplane store because he thought the Target was a propeller, and that's where he got an airplane one time.
Oh.
So for like the longest time, he's like, "Oh, we're going to the airplane store?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, that sounds great. I think I could hang out there. That sounds like a fun place to hang out.
The airplane store.
Do they sell airplane parts? No, just normal stuff. Normal
stuff.
He was probably disappointed every time you went inside.
No, I mean, because he knew that they had airplanes there, because that's where he got an airplane from. It kind of was like 2 and 2. He's like, okay, well, I bought an airplane here, and that little thing looks like a propeller spinning around, so clearly this is an airplane store.
He was very in tune.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like it. So I have a question for you, Chris America. Do you like it when athletes troll fans?
Sometimes. It depends on how they do it.
Okay.
It just depends. Like there's, it's a situational type deal. Like what did they say? What did the fans say? Did they deserve it? That kind of thing. Was it classy? Was it hilarious?
Okay. Well, I've got a scenario for you. I want to get your thought. If you consider this classy or hilarious, or if you think this is maybe going down the wrong road here. So Christian Yelich, who is the Milwaukee Brewers star, he's been tabbed to be in the newest issue of The Body that the ESPN puts out, where they do photos of athletes with very little to no clothing. So it's an interesting concept. But Christian Yelich is going to be in the upcoming issue of The Body. And you know what? Pictures always leak, right? Like pictures of him leak out on the internet, and all of a sudden a fan of his, they tweet at him. This fan was at Roxanne J77 on Twitter. She has now created her account as private after some of the backlash from this tweet. She says to him, at Christian Yelich, it's really sad how you didn't give any thought about all of the young kids that idolize you before doing your naked photo shoot. Distasteful. So Christian Yelich, he fires back, and he just responds, and he says, relax, Roxanne. And that's all he responds to on Twitter. But the last night during the game, he changed his walk-up music, and he decided to pick a classic Police song. You may have heard it, but the title of that song is Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yes.
You don't have to turn on your red light.
Yes.
Was that Sting?
So
Did Sting just come on the air? That's nuts. Sounded just like him.
Wow. I think he's in studio. So that was his subtle troll to Roxanne. What are your thoughts on this? Was this a good and playful gesture to Roxanne? Or do you think this is an athlete that's probably taken something a little too far?
No, because Loudbeard, as soon as you told me what she did, I was honestly about to jump on the mic, but you kept going, so I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was like, troll on, my man. Troll on. She deserves it. And I got to say, Loudbeard, we've been making fun of Karen for a long time, right? And I don't know many Karens that are around. Like that's more of like our parents' generation, and they're not really in offices anymore or anything like that. But when you said Roxanne, I immediately thought of that typical "I need to speak of your manager" haircut, that type of look. She brings, potato salad with raisins in it. Roxanne seems more like the type to do that. There seems to
Yeah,
be more Roxannes in your office than a Karen.
I can feel you on that. Now we're getting somebody to corroborate our story here. It is Mike Berlan on Twitter. He says at Scout Team Radio, Yelich's troll job was absolutely amazing with that move. Yes. We both agree with that, I believe. And Chris America, you're saying Roxanne is that basic white girl Karen, gonna be calling the manager, gonna be doing the potato salad name.
She already had her PSL, and that's not private seat license in the stands. That's a pumpkin spice latte. She was drinking that while she was tweeting at him at the same time.
All right, so this is my feeling on it, and I could be off base. But at Roxanne J77, I'm going to investigate this a little bit, but the 77, I feel like is her date of birth, right? I think that she was born in 77, and I'm feeling like she's got small children. I'm feeling like she's small children. So I think she's one of those, moms that had small children a little bit later in life, and then now she's one of those overbearing helicopter parents that sits there and manages her children's life 24/7, has everything to do with them, makes sure that they don't watch anything bad on television, probably doesn't even have a TV in her house. I'm going to even put that there. But she has her own personal device where she can watch things on, like her cell phone, but the kids aren't allowed to touch any electronics. And I feel like you're right. She serves the kids. She makes her own baby food. I'm putting that out there. She makes her own baby food. She's definitely that type of mom. What else does she do? She's got a garden in the back that she grows her own fresh herbs. She's the best mom in the entire world, and she is still appalled that Kristen Yelich would be doing a naked photo shoot. How dare he?
That her son gets a D on the math test and then goes down to the teacher and asks the teacher why they're failing at their job.
Yes, it's the teacher's fault. It wouldn't be her child's fault. It is 100% the teacher's fault because she's Roxanne. This is the type of mom she is. She's a crunchy mom, and she just wants to go out and let the world know. And you know what, Chris America, after that D, she pulled her kids from school, and then she's now homeschooling all of her kids. She's got 7 kids. So the 77 stands for the year she was born and how many kids she has. She's now homeschooling them because the public school system is letting her down because they hire incompetents that give her son a D. And that is who Roxanne is.
Well,
you know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And you are correct. That is who Roxanne is. Roxanne is always saying, think of the children.
Think of the children. How dare. Oh, man. She's also a home birther. She had her children at home naturally.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't trust hospitals. Doctors, they don't have real medicine.
Definitely did not vaccinate her kids.
Essential oils, and she does have holistic healers that come in and help her.
Yeah, one of us cut out, so I said she definitely
I think it was
didn't
me.
vaccinate her kids.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. You know what happens when you vax, right? Like, she knows what happens when you vax. Yeah, that's right. It protects your children from major diseases and really from surviving life, right? Like, that's what it's protecting them from, so they can survive, have a higher rate of survival, and live longer. Yeah, that's what it's protecting them from. And so, Roxanne does not want any part of that. That's what Roxanne is.
Because when she was going through college, she was that Roxanne from the Sting song. And now she's trying to make penance.
Roxanne. Yeah. Oh.
So,
like
Loudbeard,
song.
you like it when athletes troll fans who deserve it, right?
Yeah, I do. Now that we got to know Roxanne a little bit better, she definitely deserved this.
Do you like when fighters or other athletes troll other athletes?
I do. I actually do.
Okay, well, I got a little Henry Cejudo here, and he posted a video yesterday. Or when was this video posted? Yeah, it was yesterday. And he's got himself a Bible, or a book of some sort. It looks like a Bible. And he's got his 3 UFC titles that he has. He's got them all lined up with baby diapers on them and baby bottles laying next to them. And so he's reading them a little bedtime story, I guess. And let's hear what old Henry Cejudo, Triple Champ, has to say.
Athlete of all time. And Triple C went on to become rich and famous, and he became the greatest combat athlete of all time. The end. Oh my man, what's that smell? TJ sharted again.
He just checked the
Jesus.
diaper and there was
Anyways,
a Hershey
kids,
bar
I've
in
been
it.
Thinking, Daddy's been having really tough fights lately. This last year and a half, he's fought Demetrius Johnson, the greatest of all time, beat him. TJ Dillashaw, the greatest bantamweight of all time, beat him. And also, we beat the killer in Marlon Moraes. Daddy wants an easy fight, kids. I want somebody that I could break. I want somebody brittle. I want somebody easy. In wrestling, we call them pud whackers, fish. Or better yet, how about a tune-up fight? Dominic Cruz, I have a message for you. I don't know how you can say you're the best in the world when you're not even the best out of the state of Arizona. Dominic Cruz, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to Triple C too. And one last thing. Wash your filthy dog.
All right, Loudbeard, how do you rate that troll from Henry Cejudo to Dominic Cruz? He was also wearing a shirt that said, "The tune-up fight, Dominic Cruz."
All right, on a scale from 1 to 11, I rated a 9.5.
Yeah.
It was pretty quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. I like trash talking. I like creativity when you're trash talking. This wasn't your normal, you're a punk, I'm going to beat you down,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. You know what? This had a little bit of pizzazz.
Yeah.
It definitely had some really great, like, theatrics to it. Definitely using the props the way that you should be using props. It was a beautiful way for him to be doing a troll job. And I like the fact that he said, "Oh, I just need a warm-up fight. I just need a easy fight." And then he pulls out the other fighter's name, and it's like, okay, here we go. This is the way that trash talking should be. This is the world that we live in now. Trash talking needs to have a little creativity. We need to put it out on social media. We need to enjoy it. So this one, definitely 9.5 out of 11. Perfect. Almost.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting it out now so our fans can see it. You can follow us at Scout Team Radio, at Scout Team Radio on Twitter. And I'm just tweeting a whole bunch of fire emojis, eyeball emojis. Here we go. And retweet. There we go.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yep.
So you can see the diapers, the baby bottles, and the poopy diaper that TJ Dillashaw sharded in.
Ooh. Yeah, you get
It's
a
a good
little
little touch that he added that in there.
Yeah, you know what though? That's just adds to the beauty of the trash talk right there. That just the whole thing came together very nicely. I definitely approve it. It's Loudbeard approved.
Yeah. And for me, the athlete has to be great to trash talk. I cannot stand a trash talking athlete who's not good. And so that's the only time that an athlete trash talking like bothers me. I don't know why. I just feel like if you're great like Henry Cejudo is, you get to do whatever you want as far as the trash talking goes.
Now, it's funny that you say that because I was kind of thinking of one of the biggest trash talkers in MMA, and that Conor McGregor. At this point, if Conor McGregor came out and started trash talking, I don't think anybody puts any weight to it, right? Like, the dude hasn't won a fight in a very long time. His type of trash talk doesn't really mean anything at this point. But
especially since
when
not
Henry
only does he
Cejudo
not
says
win, not only has he not won in a long time, but he's only fought once in like 3 or 4 years in the MMA ring.
Right.
So it makes
Right.
it worse. Like, okay, Conor McGregor's talking trash again, yet he hasn't signed up for a fight. So it makes it even worse, like when you're not even willing to get into the ring.
At this point, I got to say he's probably done, right? Like,
You
as
never
far
know.
as his star, I don't think he could ever get back up to that pinnacle because he'd have to win some fights, and he'd have to win
if
some big fights.
If his whiskey is trash and he invests a lot of his money into that and he keeps punching old people who sue him, he might need to fight again just to get back all that millions he's just tossing away right now.
Yeah, and he could fall into that trap where, like he needs the money. And as an older fighter, he's still going to get a draw. People are going to want to see him. It's
Yeah.
like Brock Lesnar. Like, even though he's old and he's falling apart, if he signed up for a fight, more than average would go see that fight or want to watch that fight on pay-per-view or whatnot.
Because he's a name.
He's a name. It's all about the name. It's all about the name.
He's a name and a brand.
It absolutely is. Well, since we're talking about trash talking, I will say that earlier this week, Big Ben Roethlisberger, he had made comments, last season about Antonio Brown, and he just came out and he said, you know what? I regretted throwing my good friend, my guy that was my go-to under the bus, Antonio Brown. I really feel like that ruined our friendship, and I feel bad about it, and I really regret making those comments. And as a good troll always does, Antonio Brown responds on Twitter, and he says, "Shut up already."
He ain't taking apologies from nobody. Isn't that like the second apology he just like batted down on Twitter? I feel like that is his second time since last year.
He's a little off the cuff, man. I thought I liked him for a little while, and honestly, for a while in his career, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, man, this guy, he comes out and he just does great work. One of the best receivers, and he's quiet. He just comes out and does his job. Boy, was I wrong, because he jumped the shark and jumped it quick. And this season, he's got a lot to prove. I mean, he made all this big stink about the helmet. He's had 2 appeals to the NFL that have both been rejected. He's sitting out. He has foot injuries. He gets cryogenically frozen on his feet and has to wait for that to heal. He's got all kinds of issues. When it comes to game time, if he doesn't perform, I mean, people are going to be all over him. He's put a lot of pressure on himself just unnecessarily with all of his talking.
Yeah, he really has. And I was with him too, just like you were, until the helmet thing is really what kind of pushed me over the edge, because I was just like, really? This is what we're doing right now?
That's exactly what we're doing. All right, so we're getting a tweet in.
Yep.
Jenny of Ohio, she says, Big Ben seems like one of those guys that is nice to public, but a tool behind the camera. We all know his history. Don't blame AB. Can I ask a quick question to Jenny of Ohio, Chris America? Just one quick question.
Yeah.
What school did Big Ben go to?
That was Miami of Ohio.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's that school that created that environment, culture.
You know, the environment, yeah, being a Miami U alum makes you a big giant tool. Now, he did get drafted. I believe I drafted him, right, in our douchebag draft?
Oh, yeah, you probably did. Yeah, you were all about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he seems nice, right? Like, in the public eye, like she's saying. She's got a good point here. In the public eye, he seems like he's a nice guy. He's saying all the right things.
I don't know about it seems like, because I always look at Ben Roethlisberger, maybe because it's I know about all the other things, but he has a face that I want to punch. He has a very punchable face.
He was born with that, though.
He was born that way, Lady Gaga?
He's born that way. You can't, just because he looks like a punchable face doesn't mean he's not a warm, cuddly bear, and then behind the scenes a total DB. I mean, we all know what Ben Roethlisberger is. I guess we shouldn't be saying anything nice about him, but yeah, Ben Roethlisberger. I can't say anything else. I'm done with Ben. That's it.
So we're done with AB and Ben?
Yeah,
sometimes
honestly,
you can have 2 douchebags arguing with each other. Like, you ever seen 2 bros fight at a club? It's the worst. And also the best all at the same time, because you're like, yes, these 2 douchebags are finally going to get what they deserve.
Please knock each other out. Both of you. Knock each other out. This is the best way for this all to end.
Hey, bro, you got White Claw on my shirt. This shirt cost me like $70, bro.
I can picture it now. We've all seen it, right? We've all seen that the dude bros going at each other. Yeah. That's going to be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining.
You're lucky it was leg day today or I'd kick your ass.
Well, Chris America,
This
today's
has been
Wednesday.
a good show so far. It's been all about trash talk, and I love it.
It is. It is. It's a good Wednesday, right? We're finally getting to the point where college football. We had a little sneak peek on Saturday, but we're one day away from some additional college football. We've got some good college football coming up tomorrow night, so we've got plenty of games there. But we still have tomorrow night a lot of preseason football. And I want to say that I saw the biggest Captain Obvious headline of the week, and I want to share that with you. The headline reads, Falcons owner says 4-game preseason is not necessary.
That is the most Captain Obvious headline, or the most Captain Obvious statement from an NFL owner.
Yeah, dude, you're an owner. You could help change this, but the problem is you still roll up to your bank account and take a look at the dollars rolling in with the prices that they charge people for preseason games. They make it out like it's regular season prices for tickets and stuff. I don't know how anybody goes to a preseason game. I mean, I feel like they're taking advantage of fans, especially week 4 of preseason. I mean, why even bother? It is unnecessary. It is just it's awful. It's according to Roxanne, and I'm going to quote her directly. She would say that this is distasteful.
She'd want to speak to someone's manager.
That's right. That's it. Roger Goodell, I need to talk to your manager.
Maybe that's why that's why the owner's saying it. It's because Roxanne got into his ear.
She would too. She would go to a Falcons preseason game, and she'd be like, "Why aren't the players playing? Why aren't the starters playing?" That's
Why
it.
am I
need
paying
to talk
full
to your
price for this?
manager.
Why am I paying
Yeah.
full price for this?
I need a discount. This can is dented. Oh wait, that's
Yeah.
the grocery store. I need a discount on this. She would go up, and she would be like, "I didn't talk to your manager," and then she would get so annoying and talk to everybody's manager until they finally opened the door. Art Blank's luxury suite up at the stadium over there, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and they would say, "Hey, Art Blank, she wanted to talk to the manager." He's like, "That's not normally how this works." And nope, they let Roxanne in because she just badgered them to death. Absolutely badgered them until they had to let Roxanne in.
Oh, Loudbeard, you cut out again. That's all right. Yes, Roxanne. Is that going to be the name of the show? Roxanne or Trash Talk? Roxanne is the new Karen. I think we should. We should make Roxanne is the new Karen. Should be the title of this episode. And hopefully we get Loudbeard back soon because he's got control of the break music. And I have an excellent tease. And I need the tease music to be there. So hopefully he comes back. But Loudbeard, I don't know if you can hear me. And I don't know if you know this. But the preseason actually used to be 6 games. And there is no way in hell I could stand a 6-game preseason. I would honestly not even want to tune in to 6 games of preseason football. I would tear my eyeballs out. Not just my hair, but my eyeballs. And Roxanne would have been none too happy. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was a Karen back in the 80s or whenever they switched over and she complained about the 6-game preseason. And now Roxanne, it's her turn to take care of it. And sometimes that's when we need a Roxanne, Loudbeard. A lot of times we complain about the Roxanne, but Roxanne gets things done. Roxanne makes sure that there are discounts when there's hair on your food or a dent in your can and things like that. So sometimes we need a Roxanne in our life. All right, thought Loudbeard was back. I guess not. So I had the great tease, Loudbeard, and you're the one with the internet problems here. So now I got to find something else to talk about until you get back with your thing.
This is terrible. As I was saying before, you rudely interrupted me and nobody could hear me because there's Russian spies that have they have hacked into our studio software. This is what happens when you as a host is named Chris America. Russia attacks us and they infiltrate our studio software and they create a problem. That's what happened.
No,
I'm so angry.
What it was, Loudbeard, is you mentioned a super operative Russian spy named Roxanne whose main job is to take down America from the inside with all of her complaints.
That's what she said.
So do we want to go to commercial break? Or what were you saying before you were
I don't
rudely
know, man.
interrupted by
What-
your technical difficulties?
I don't remember. Well, I went to commercial break, but I don't know if anybody heard it because I don't know what was working and
No,
what wasn't.
it was-
But
it
I'm
was
ready to
dead air.
move on. We're going to move on, my wayward son. We are going to move on to bigger and better things.
Well, I need to go wake my son up for school.
Yeah, go ahead. Go do your thing, player. Keep playing. I got this. Because we already had 5 minutes of technical difficulties. I'm just going to carry on. And there was a technical difficulty on my end. I don't know if it's my internet or the studio or what's going on in the world, but this is not cool, man. And I apologize to all of our listeners out there. We try to pride ourselves in only having minor technical difficulties half the time, and this was bigger than what we normally have. So this is not good. Not good. Speaking of technical difficulties, I'm gonna just throw this out there. This is a small story, not big at all. But Tiger Woods undergoes surgery to repair a cartilage in his left knee. My man's falling apart. This is what's happening in the world of golf. He had one last hurrah, and now my man is falling apart. Tiger Woods, he's an old man. I can relate to that because I feel like I am an old man also. And, you know, things happen where your knees, they give way. Your back, it gives way. And you become the stereotypical old man. And things like Lindsey Vonn leaving you for a much younger PK Subban, that happens. And that's what happens when you become an old man, just like Tiger Woods. He is the oldest of old, and he's falling apart. And, you know, I feel bad for him. I mean, not because he's like a really nice guy and he's always been a really good choir boy, Boy Scout type guy, because he's got a checkered past. But I still feel bad for him. Guy's falling apart in many ways that we can't even explain. Here's another story that seems to be getting a little bit of traction. A Royals owner, looks like he's selling the team. So he's currently in negotiations. He's in negotiations with a gentleman that is leading up a group. This gentleman is a vice president over with the Cleveland Indians organization. Definitely some conflict of interest going on there, but, you know, we'll see if it ends up falling through or if it ends up panning out in any way whatsoever. But $1 billion is the amount that it looks like it's going to sell for. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe 1.1 or 1.2. Negotiations are ongoing, and I will say that this is a pretty good return on investment. The owner of the Royals bought the club back in 2000 for $96 million. Chris America, if you bought something for $96 million and, you know, just 20 years later you could sell it for over $1 billion, would you consider that a good investment?
Yeah, I'd consider it a great investment. Plus, you got one World Series win somewhere in between there. I'd love that.
I mean, this is the investment we need to get involved with. We got to buy ourselves a sports team. Like, I was considering buying the Orlando Apollos before they folded. And I'm glad I didn't get into that investment because things got real shady. Bill Polian kicked us out of the press box, which we will mention on every show from now until eternity. And ever since that part, I'm glad we did not try to get ownership. Now, they took the wrong way. They didn't want owners for their teams. They just wanted to be a kumbaya league where there's one group that owns the whole league. But teams need to be owned. I need to invest in a team and get 10 times my investment back to me is what I need, Chris American. Can you help me make that happen?
Yeah, I think we need to put in a bid for this Royals team and go 1.4.
There you go. It's worth it. It'll
Give
be
them
worth
an offer they can't
2.8.
refuse.
Oh yeah. Let's just throw money out at it. Throwing money at problems always works. That's what I've learned. This is my life lesson, and this goes for anything in life. Throw money at it; it fixes whatever problem it is, and that's what we're gonna do, Chris America.
You know, Loudbeard, I was going to say, you know what's worse than 6 preseason games or Roxanne complaining? That was going to be my tease into the commercial break.
Which one's worse?
Yeah, no. Do you know what's worse than both of those things?
I don't know. What is worse than Roxanne and preseason games?
A flippin' hurricane coming in on a 3-day Labor Day weekend and just ruining everything.
Yeah, this is a very good point. I was sitting here thinking, okay, should I blame our studio issues on a hurricane or Russian spies? And I've decided
Totally Russian spies.
I decided to go Russian spies, but I was also thinking we're basically in the outer bands of the hurricane right now. Very minor. Probably not even really outer bands at all. It's just I'm saying it.
It's all the way down like south of Puerto Rico, man. What are you talking about?
So we're in the outer bands. They're more hypothetical outer bands, but these
Right.
outer bands are creating interference, which has caused a rift in our virtual studio, and that rift created us to go down today. So we're already getting complications from this hurricane, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. What is his name? Dorian? Sounds
Dorian,
like a
yeah.
douchebag.
Dorian the Explorer.
Yeah, Dorian's
Dorian the
Roxanne's
Explorer.
husband.
Yeah, Dorian. Is Dorian a guy's
Douchebag.
name or a
Worst-
girl's name?
It could be both, I think.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's one thing if it came on a regular Monday. I'd be fine with it because then we don't have to go to work. We could have hurricane parties. But on Labor Day weekend, we're supposed to be out at the beach. We're supposed to be out at the pool, having a few drinks, getting ready to watch some college football later on that night. That's what you're supposed to be doing on Labor Day weekend. Instead, we're going to be hunkering down. Power's going to be turned off. It's going to be miserable. I'm not happy about this, Oddbeard.
You know the term hunkering down never gets old. I love it.
Never.
Every hurricane, you always hunker down.
You got to hunker down, man.
Yeah, it's more relevant than get her done. Like get her done, I think's past its prime. Hunker down never gets old.
Hunker down with your natter days and your White Claws, and this is when you're gonna grill out some hot dogs. You can't use the oven or the stove to boil them, so you got to grill them up, right?
Oh no, I think I'm getting low on propane.
No.
I might need to go fill my propane tank. It's time for a hurricane preparedness. We need to go to the store, buy all the bottled water off the shelves. We need to go to the get propane tanks filled.
Go see Hank Hill.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy some Vienna sausages because they never go out of date. And so if it's a apocalypse hurricane, I will be able to live forever off of Vienna sausages and Spam. Yeah, I'm prepared. That's what I'm doing.
Got to get your propane and propane accessories.
Yeah.
Mike Burlon tweeting in, if only we had nuked the hurricane, y'all could have enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. If only.
Why? I mean, it's too good of an idea. It should have happened. Should have happened already.
I don't know why we haven't thought of this before.
It's a good point. You know what? When great ideas happen, we can't just let them rest. We've got to take that great idea and run with it.
Yeah, so 12 Ounce Sports Radio tweeting out, which Scout team member would you say first from a hurricane? Kyle, Chris, Mel Viper, or Get Water Tent?
Well, right now the voting is 100% Mel Viper. And maybe because I just voted for Mel Viper, but I would definitely vote for Mel Viper. Mel Viper is he's a legend in his own mind here.
He is. Loudbeard, so I'm looking at the trending topics, and one of them is boycott Indian products. And at first I thought, are they talking about the Cleveland Indians? What do the Cleveland Indians do now? Are we saying that it's a racist name? Nope, it's actually boycott the country of India.
I'm so sick of these boycotting hashtags. The other day it was Olive Garden. Something about the owner of Olive Garden had donated to Trump, and they're like, boycott Olive Garden. I'm like, can we stop boycotting everything? Boycott India. Just do it.
Well, Anil Patil tweeted, if you really want to boycott Indian products, first boycott water, which comes from India. I don't get it.
What? What?
This is why we can't have nice things, Loudbeard, because people say things like that.
We live in Florida. Basically, water is all underneath us. There's springs, fresh springs everywhere that we get water from. Yeah.
Are you ready for
this guy ruined the India guy just ruined the internet.
Okay,
God.
so somebody else tweeted out, come on, Pakistan, boycott Indian products. List of Indian entertainment TV channels. Are you ready for this so you know which ones to avoid, Loudbeard?
Okay, I'm ready.
One is called Big Magic. I wish we had a Big Magic TV station. Another one's called Colors Rishti. Colors TV, Dangle TV, DD Bharati, DD National, Discovery Jeet, Sony Entertainment Television. Oh, yeah, we've been boycotting Sony since they got rid of Spider-Man.
We're going to do that anyway. Done.
And that's not the only. So Sony Saab and Sony Pal, Star Bharat, Star Plus,
I'm boycotting
Star Utsav, Z
that
Anmol, and ZTV.
They're all done. I've all boycotted all of those already. Dunzo.
Boycotted.
Wow.
Here comes
What else can
another.
we
Stop
boycott?
drinking water too. It comes from India. Maybe India supplies Pakistan with water. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay. I think you're getting involved with a turf war that you don't know
am.
anything about.
But you know what? That's what I do. That's what Chris. That is what America stands for. Getting involved in turf wars we know nothing about.
Though Scout Team Radio does chart in Pakistan occasionally on their
We
top
do.
iTunes and Apple Podcast charts, so we want to make sure that all of our Pakistani listeners, we love you guys. We're sorry that India is being so mean to you. We
And
also
we are
chart quite a bit on
100%
Gambia.
We are 100% on your boycott against Sony Entertainment.
Yeah, we feel like it's because of the injustice of this whole Marvel thing that we absolutely agree. Nothing to do with any of your other injustices or hating of India, but we're on board. We can boycott things. We'll join the crew.
Man, oh man. Getting involved in turf wars we know nothing about. That's what we do here on Scout Team Radio. We got to get Roxanne on this. Roxanne would take care of this.
It's like that one time we got involved with that turf war between the Columbus Crew and the Cincinnati FC.
Oh, yeah, those are good times,
We
man.
didn't know
Tomorrow
anything
night.
about that. We didn't even know what hell is real meant.
Nothing.
But we got
no part of it.
totally knee-deep in that shit.
We thought it just meant hell is real because you're in the state of Ohio.
Right, because
and Ben
basically that's hell.
Ben Roethlisberger played college football in your state.
A lot of our listeners have ties to Ohio. Have you noticed
They do. Yeah.
that?
We love
Why
Ohio.
is that? We love Ohio. It's a great place. My parents lived up there for 3 years, right outside of Columbus, and it was beautiful. I almost moved there. Just think of it. I was this close, and I'm putting my fingers really close together to make it look like it's really close, but on radio you can't see it, but it's really close. I was this close to moving up there, Chris America. If I would have moved up there, there is a potential that the Scout Team Radio could never have existed. Either that or it would have been you and Anthony Mack, and it would have lasted about 3.5 weeks, and then you would have got pissed off and left him because he stopped showing up.
Yeah. This is all true, Loudbeard. All of it.
Man,
I'm so
butterfly
glad
effect.
Ooh.
That's what we're doing right now.
We are.
If I go back in time, one little change,
If
the
I
whole
could
world.
turn back time, if I could fly my way.
Mm.
I don't even know if those are the words.
I think they are. Hey, I'm going through my list of notes here. I feel like we talked a lot about sports. We got 5 minutes left, so
we
I'm
have
going
not
to talk about
mentioned Bachelor in
entertainment.
Paradise.
You know what? On the rare occasion, because I haven't cut the cable yet, but I'm going to, because I'm trying to cut back some expenses.
Dude, do you want to go Do you want to go 50-50 on YouTube TV?
Oh, maybe. I'll get back.
We'll
to you
talk
on
after
that.
the show.
Yeah. So I haven't cut the cable. So last night I put on Netflix. I'm like, I've watched all this. I watched the new Dave Chappelle special the other night. I watched this stupid movie called Sextuplets with Marlon Wayans. It was mildly funny. I'm like, I don't. There's nothing in here I want to watch. I could put reruns of Office or reruns of Parks and Rec, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I went to regular TV, and I kind of like, what's on? And Bachelor in Paradise was on. And for a split second, I said, I should watch this so I could give my synopsis on the show in the morning. But then I didn't. And that's the end of my story.
All right. So what were you going to tease or talk about before I interrupted you with Bachelor in Paradise rudely?
Oh, I saw the Breaking Bad trailer, and I wanted to apologize to all the listeners out there. I said I really don't think I would have watched this Breaking Bad movie, but I saw the trailer, and the trailer has gotten me intrigued, and it's going to be a Netflix movie, so I don't have to go to the movie theater and buy tickets because I don't think I could take myself to do that, but it's going to be on Netflix, which makes it all of a sudden worth watching.
I told you that was going to happen, Loudbeard. I told you were going to see the trailer, and it was going to be the make or break it for you. Yeah,
you're right. You're right. It was a nice like little tease trailer. I'm intrigued. And I have no idea if Walter White's going to be in it or not. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. I know Jesse
You know
Pinkman.
what, though?
Mhm.
I don't think Walter White needs to be in it. I think they
Right.
do such a good job with that world that you can make references to Walter White and just have like somebody who's maybe like tied to Walter White that we never even met before. I think you can do it if you do it right. And the writers, from what I understood, is Better Call Saul is an excellent TV show. I have yet to watch it like anything else. I am the Mike Burlon of TV, where I've seen lots of movies and Mike Burlon hasn't, and I have not seen lots of shows that I need to watch.
And Mike Burlon has to do with TV shows too?
I don't know. Does he? I don't. I feel like he watches shows that I don't. I don't know, but
You made the reference.
I did. Well, because every single show or every single Craft Brewed Sports show, he mentions a new movie that he hasn't seen. Like last week, he hadn't seen The Matrix until that night or that day. He hasn't seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He's seen Terminator 1, but not Terminator 2. How does that happen?
Okay, that's an injustice. That's that right there. That's a Roxanne move right there.
He's never seen Fight Club.
Come on. Don't do this to me. You've really just changed the way I look at Mike Burlon for life now.
And see,
I don't think that'll
I feel
ever be
like-
undone. You can't put that back in.
I feel like
Toothpaste.
I have an excuse for TV shows because if you miss like 4 episodes, you're already 4 hours behind. And I don't have 4 hours to give. And then each week that goes by, it just extends the time that I'm behind. And I'm like, man, I don't have 8, 9, 12, 24 hours to spend to catch up on the show, where Fight Club is a fast watch, man.
I don't want to hear your sorry ass excuses.
But yeah, so no Fight Club. We
Okay.
should have a draft of all the movies Mike Burlon hasn't seen.
So basically just a draft of our favorite movies.
Pretty much.
Black Panther 2 confirmed for 2022. Excited about this one?
I am. I'm excited to see where MCU is going to go. And I actually, Loudbeard, you mentioned how you were sad and disappointed that Avengers ended. I thought it was good. I think we needed to move on. We needed to start a new storyline and go a new route while still keeping some of the Avenger characters around. I think this is going to be a good new chapter 2 for MCU.
Yeah, I hope so. Now, they're really starting to dabble on the TV side a lot more. It looks like at this D23, the Disney Expo that happened this past weekend, they also announced that there's going to be some additional TV shows in the future coming to Disney+. There was a She-Hulk movie, a Miss Marvel movie, and a Moon Knight movie. Some of the lesser-known comics of Marvel are getting their own shows, so they could make it fun. This could be kind of interesting. I'm actually really curious at the She-Hulk one.
You know what movie I'm surprised they haven't made yet? It's not MCU related. Is Sailor Moon.
Oh, man, everybody would be all about that.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? We're going all nostalgia with all these old cartoons and stuff, making them into movies now. I feel like that would be a big get.
Yeah, Sailor Moon would be super popular, and it would be internationally popular, right?
Yeah.
Because Sailor Moon isn't it a
I feel like that's
Japanese?
$1 billion idea, Loudbeard.
It is a $1 billion idea. Just like the end of this show, your $1 billion idea is no. I got nothing.
Hopefully the recording comes out well.
Oh, it's probably gonna suck.
Oh well.
I'll edit it
All right,
as best
cool.
as I can. 30 seconds.
No worries.
worth.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in for our Trash Talk Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow for Chicken Thighs Thursday. I don't know where it's going with that. Peace.